Hi, okay, so it's September 18th. I'm going to be posting this video today for Ella Mai, and I'm just going to apologize ahead of time. I'm going to post another one later today, so sorry if I'm like spamming you guys, but just a heads up. So yeah, I wanted to do something a little more positive than the ones that I've been putting out, and I really feel something good with you, Ella. Honestly, what I was being drawn to at first, that's interesting that the levers popped out here. What I was being drawn to is, that's interesting that this came in reversed though, the Justice card. Are you with someone that was in jail? I don't know, I'm just kidding, probably, hopefully. Is that there's a significance to a dog, like you love a dog, or like the dog saved your life. I thought that was kind of a strange and interesting thing that came through. I don't know if it's your dog, if you have a dog, but I feel like there's a significance to a dog that you really, really love. So I don't really have any intentions of like what I'm pulling. I'm just kind of pulling them and then seeing afterwards, I guess, the general consensus, I guess. So let's pull one more and then we'll think about it, right? The Justice reverse is at the bottom again. I'm going to use this as this overall theme here, okay? Because it feels like, let me think about this for a minute. Okay, I think I'm gonna mix this up a little bit. I'm gonna be a hit and miss on this with a couple things, but I think I'm pretty close. What I'm gonna do is just kind of get started and then see how the story might change. So this coming through, Justice reversed. For the overall theme, I feel like this is how you feel overall about this particular situation. I'm gonna say that this is some sort of like personal thing, like we'll say like a relationship, or maybe it's a relationship that hasn't quite gotten off the ground, maybe is in secret. I don't know. I don't feel like you're married or engaged. I don't even know what your preference is. It feels like a guy. But we'll say him just to kind of keep things clear, okay? So, or consistent. I feel like there's an issue here with this person, this guy, because this person you potentially feel is not over their relationship, their previous relationship. It's like no matter what you have to offer, it's not getting through to them. No matter what you say, it's not making things change between you guys because they're still holding on to what happened in the past with this other relationship that they were in. And in turn, it's made you feel like what you have isn't enough. It makes you feel like it just doesn't make you feel good. It makes you feel like you can't trust them, you can't trust yourself, you can't trust your judgment, and to you it feels embarrassing. Like you feel embarrassed, or like if I'm correct about this, then you would feel like vulnerable and embarrassed that I'm saying this because you feel like it makes you look stupid. Is kind of what I'm getting, which is not true. This is something that everyone goes through. It's very relatable. It's very understandable, and is actually far from the truth of the matter, because many reasons, but obviously we'll just talk about your situation instead of talking about you know, all the varying reasons as to why that could be anything else but the truth. And what I feel is, honestly, if we want to get into the other person's psyche to help you understand a little bit more, is they are looking at the past with rose-colored glasses. They see this person and the relationship that they had, whether or not it was not good for them or not, as better than it was. And again, we all have a tendency to do that sometimes. And for men, if this is a man in particular, because I feel like at least they have these masculine qualities where they're not, they feel very masculine, where they it's harder for them to process things as quickly as women do. I don't think it's harder. I think it just takes a lot longer, because women are more practiced in sharing their emotions, working through their emotions. Like, they're just more emotional, so they kind of process it a lot faster. And mentally, what happened in that relationship messed him up. It's something that he has to come to terms with. It's something that he has to work on. It's something that he has to acknowledge and admit, because instead of, it's like he blames himself for a lot of the things that had happened, because this person, and I think you would have told them this, and it's different hearing it from you, because there's some sort of like romance there, so it's a little, it's harder for him to hear or trust, because he's still healing. And again, he has to figure it out for himself, that that other person may have been manipulating them, like mentally challenging them and hurting them, like hurting their self-esteem, hurting their sense of self, you know, and really going at it. And so they ultimately blame themselves, and they don't see it for what really happened. And again, that's a process that needs to rectify on their own. And so in turn, you've kind of been like stonewalled, emotionally stonewalled by them. And it's like you're confused in a way, because it's like they are obviously capable of these emotions that I'm not getting. I'm getting stonewalled. I'm getting like returned. Like it's getting returned back to me. Or like my feelings are just bouncing off of them and coming back. Does that make sense? I'm probably just repeating myself with that, but it's like, you know that they're capable of those emotions, and yet you're not receiving them. And that has caused a lot of mental and emotional friction for yourself. And it's like you start feeling, because potentially you have been with them intimately, and you feel like, well, so they're just looking at me as if I'm an object. Or maybe not so much as that, like so cut and dry as that, but as like, because you know that there's feelings there. There's feelings shared. Like, you kind of get that they are capable. It's not that they're just not, hold on. It's not that they aren't just capable of those feelings, but that they exist somewhere within them for you. And there's a part of you, even before you started doubting yourself, you're like, who wouldn't? Like, you were self-assured, you were confident, and it's like, no one really turns you down. Like, people really want to be with you. People pursue you heavily, and you have a lot of options. You, like, very rarely, if at all, get rejected by anyone. And the reason that anyone would ever reject you is because you rejected them first, and that you know that the reason why they are now rejecting you is because they're afraid of ultimate rejection later on. Like, that's just who you are. That's just your personality, of being highly desirable and highly sought after. So this has really thrown you through a loop and has kind of like really confused you. So what I see is, first of all, your guardian angels are saying, like, you could enjoy this moment. Like, take the pressure off of them and yourself and enjoy it for what it is, which could potentially be some physically intimate experience. And enjoy it for that. Don't try and put a label on things. Don't try and extract feelings or emotions. Like, have it be friendly, because if you truly care about someone, like unconditionally care about someone, then you don't, like, that it's unconditional. There's no conditions. It's not like, I will do this if this in exchange. Obviously there's a difference between setting boundaries for yourself versus unconditional love. But I think it's more about, like, if it's not serving you, if this is something that you're not comfortable with at all, then it's time for you to take a step back. And you can respect them, and that they need time to process everything, without you chiming in, because that's what they need. And honestly, like, they do need to do this on their own. And they would also, I think, appreciate and like that you are around as more of a friend, as in a companion who doesn't add to the confusion of what they're already feeling. And it's not that they're separating their feelings from the intimacy with you. It's that they honestly cannot give that right now. They just can't. It's not just you. It's anyone. So it's not to be taken personally, basically. And obviously, being with you, if there are other people that they've been with, you would be aware of this, but to verify, you are correct in believing that there's something there between you guys, and that the intimacy between you two is different and is special. And the issue there is, again, they aren't able to connect to that, emotionally connect to that. maybe they would feel it, but it's more of like a hunch, like a feeling. But they have to deal with the past before they can really unlock what is happening between you guys. So, I hope I'm making sense there. I hope I'm not just rambling. So yeah, so basically, like, enjoy yourself as much as you want if it doesn't cause you any emotional distress, okay? Have fun with it. You know, absolutely enjoy yourself is kind of what I'm seeing with your guardian angels, is like, you know, you have their blessing with that, because they feel like you're capable. They just feel like you're capable. You're capable of navigating any situation, any circumstance when it comes to relationships. Like, you're very good at relationships of all different kinds. And so there's just confidence in you from your guardian angels that you are able to handle it. You're able to handle this all. It's about figuring out that, like, not getting too caught up in feeling like you're not enough, right? This is a reminder that that's not what's going on here. Don't lose that spark and that confidence, because you're looking too much into the situation, taking it too personally, because it's obviously not. And I think if I am right about this, hearing this, you would be like, I knew it. I'm the shit, of course. I don't need to hear anything more. Like, I've heard enough, and you know, yeah, she's right. Like, everything's fine. And I just got a little too caught up. I slipped a little bit, but you know, hope they enjoyed that, because it's not going to happen again, kind of thing. And that's the kind of personality, or like the confidence that your guardian angels want you to continue to exude. That's a part of you that makes you so special. And yeah, so let's see a little bit more for you, and then we'll end here. I don't know why these came out. Okay. And then I'll be honest, I don't even know if you would see this video. I kind of think you wouldn't, because it doesn't look like you would be listening to my advice. It looks like it's not my advice, it's your guardian angel's advice, but it looks like it's gonna upset you. The situation's gonna upset you. You're gonna take it personally, potentially. And you know, there's going to be a separation between you and this person, and it's just going to stress you out. So let's say you did see this video. Let's just say that you did. I don't see you taking my advice. Or you would just like really take it personally, because I feel like there's some truth. It's not necessarily this Ace of Swords that's telling me this. I don't feel like it's the Ace of Swords telling me this at all, because sometimes this card can represent truth, right? But I think the truth is that you can't, like, you feel like you can't take it. Like, it's like, I feel like this is too hard for me. And so I have to just, I feel like you would push them, like you would keep trying to push them, because you like them so much and you want to feel that from them. And it's very confusing for you because this is something new for you to have it be so difficult with a person where you feel like everything makes sense and is right and they just won't move on from whatever. And instead, because of this pushing, again, they're just not able to do that, then they're going to have to distance themselves. And that's not to say that they wouldn't hold a space for you to be their friend, but they would have to distance themselves from you for some time or for a while. And you would even maybe potentially wonder, like, are we still friends? Is everything going to work out? Like, what's kind of going on here? What's really going on? Like, I want more information, and you have that information, you're not giving it to me. And so I feel like the reason this whole thing is coming up right now in your reading is, you know, because when I do these readings, which I don't think I said in this video, I don't know anything about you. I know your name. I want to say you're British, possibly. And I've heard one of your songs before. I've probably heard more, but I don't really listen to the radio. But I heard one of your songs and I really, really like it. So I know you're a musician. That's all I know. But I'm actually very interested in you now because I really like you from like this reading. You're very likable, and I just feel like you probably have really like music that I would really, really like. I mean, especially because of that one song. But anyway, so normally I'm like, what comes through, I'm asking your guardian angels the most significant thing that's happening in your life right now that needs to be addressed. And so my guess of why this is coming through for you, because it's pretty personal, I feel. I don't know if this is something that would be on display. I highly doubt that it would. Is kind of a several tiered thing. It's about like being honest with yourself. So I think like hearing this kind of information from like a public thing is it's kind of opening yourself up more and like being able to really admit to yourself the capacity of how you feel for this person and how you feel about this situation. Because if it's hidden behind closed doors, then it kind of doesn't make it completely real to you either, because it's all hidden. And so if you don't really say it out loud other than to this other person, then you're not hearing anyone else. Like, you're not hearing yourself, or you're not hearing anyone else's opinions or thoughts about it. Not that this is opinion. I'm literally just telling you exactly what I'm hearing. I mean, I guess right now this is opinion, what I'm saying, but it's being drawn from what I'm getting. So it's kind of like a mesh of both. And so that's kind of, it's opening you up to like really what's going on with you, because you're not fully being honest with yourself of how much it hurts you and the damage that's kind of happening to yourself, like the damage you're inflicting on yourself and your self-esteem. And it might even potentially be bringing you back to a place that you've felt before. I would say like when you're a lot younger, possibly, where you felt conflicted or confused about yourself. Like you were conflicted about being enough, I guess. And so it's like during this process of like growing up, you've had this realization that pretty much everyone likes you, like I said earlier, and that you're amazing, you're awesome, but you still have like that part of you, that moment in your life where you did second guess yourself. You didn't feel like you were the person that you are. And so this is kind of digging that up. It's digging all of that dirt up, that darkness up. And it's kind of making things worse, right, for you. It's making your feelings worse. It's amplifying them. Am I making sense? So what I'm getting is your guardian angels are saying to hold true to your truth, like hold on to your truth of it's like hold on to your truth and being wise, like be wise, and being alert and aware, because I was gonna say you have a tendency to slip into this old mindset, but I feel like you've gotten a really good grasp. Like maybe you've dealt with depression, or yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think it's low self-esteem. You've dealt with that, and because of the height in your life, or like the career, or whatever kind of, wherever you are now, that's overshadowed that. So it's not necessarily that you healed from that. It's just that you've been distracted with, honestly, the reality of who you are. Which is that you are great and lovable and worthy of someone who can give you that time and energy. And honestly, I don't know if I've ever said this in any of these readings, but you guys, like, if you feel, basically, like, if you feel like you're meant to be with someone and it's not working out, when you continue to hold the faith, and like, you don't have to give up hope of being with a particular person. You know, you don't have to give that hope up, but also know that if you keep working on yourself and you keep focusing on improving yourself and your situations around you. What I like to say to myself too is like the Empress. You can look up the Empress, but even just like a queen, or like a real life queen or real life Empress. I'm looking for the Empress card. Anyway, to exude those qualities, like walk as if you were the queen or the king of your life. And it's that self-assuredness, that confidence, like clean your house, throw away things that are just junk around you, straighten up your finances, straighten up your life, be the queen or the king of your life. Truly, it's not about the arrogance, it's about everything that surrounds you. Make it beautiful to you, what it means to you, right? If you're a minimalist, make it as minimal and clean and perfect as possible. If you like extravagant things, on and on. The universe, if you want to say that way, will bring in, if you're looking for a person, they will bring in someone better suited for you. Okay? So even if you really, really are into this person, imagine how you would feel when there's actually someone. Even if you feel like there's no one else for me, don't give up hope. Don't give up hope. Prepare yourself so that if you guys do end up together, you want it to be where you are in your power, and you want them to be in their power, right? And you want everything to be as harmonious as possible. Of course, it doesn't always work that way, but at least in the process of separation, in the process of not being together, or this frustrating thing, work on what you can control, which is things that are in your life. And that will help you significantly. So I don't know why I went on that tangent. I think because what I was saying is how you were thrown into, it's almost like, feels like overnight for you, where it's like all of a sudden you realized your worth, and it helped you ignore the things that you hadn't really addressed and dealt with from your past, of feeling like you weren't enough. And so this person is kind of triggering those old feelings because you haven't healed that yet. You haven't, I was gonna say, like, fixed that part of you of like really seeing your worth. It was, I guess when you realized how amazing you are, it was still being drawn from the way that people perceived you, rather than you, like you were feeding off of their energy rather than feeding off of your own energy. It was just verifying what you always believed about yourself, which is that you are actually worthy. And so just look at this situation as a way for you to challenge your past beliefs in order for you to truly recognize and understand that you don't have to take people's opinions about you personally and how they act or don't act around you personally, because you recognize who you are and what you're worth. And so other people's opinions about you really don't matter, good or bad. It's just a bonus if it's good, and if it's bad, then, God bless them, they're stupid. They have to learn on their own, through their own process, right? So yeah, I feel like this is a battle. I think this is a battle of your mind, this is all of this. It's like the good and bad in your mind of because of what's going on. And this, I think, is the what is it, like the end of the rainbow, the pot at the end of the rainbow or something, I don't know, where I do think that you I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised. Okay. This may or may not be what I was saying, where it's like someone better suited for you. But I will say, what was that? A leaf just fell off one of my plants. That scared me. Okay. I will say, I can guarantee this, you are going to be pleasantly surprised at what is going to come into your life. Okay, I take the Two of Wands as a new beginning, as well as the Fool card. It's about taking a chance. It's about planning. To me, it's about action towards a plan that is going to lead to something something fun is what I'm getting. It's fun, but I think it's gonna really surprise you. Like it's going to be a very big surprise. A very big surprise. And it could potentially lead to marriage. Or at least, oh, there's the Empress. Or at least someone who sees you as marriage material. Okay, if that's something that you want. It could lead, if you wanted children, it could lead to that as well. something very stable, okay? It's going to, like, even with this, I feel instead of just like talking about things or, you know, trying to work things out, it's going to actually be solidified into reality, like something concrete and out in the open kind of thing. Okay, so that's my reading, and I'll see you guys in my next video.